these are the 10 rules that you need for a rich life. First, if you're going to read this book, I think you should read the whole book and then come back and work through the assignments week by week. It's a 6 week plan to get you to a rich life. And before you go off the deep end, it's not about trying to attain a certain status. It's about taking your current circumstances and defining what a rich life is for you. It could be something as simple as, I want to be able to take an Uber without looking at, my bank account. I wanted to be able to do whatever. I want to be able to afford the luxury of homeschooling my kids without having to worry about finances. I want to be able to buy as many lattes as I want. That's something that he talks about here. Like, don't cut back on lattes. Figure out other ways to do this thing. So here's the 10 rules for a rich life. 1, a rich life means you can spend extravagantly on the things you love as long as you cut costs mercilessly on things you don't. Number 2, focus on the big wins, the 5 to 10 things that get you disproportionate results, including automating your savings, investing, finding a job you love, and negotiating your salary. Get the big wins right, and you can order as many lattes as you want. 3, investing should be very boring and very profitable over the long term. I get more excited eating tacos than checking my investment returns. And he has this section where he talks about investing and finances and how it's not as sexy as we want it to be. It's just pretty straightforward, and it can be very boring, but if you're doing it right, it can be worthwhile. Number 4, there's a limit to how much you can cut, but no limit to how much you can earn. I have readers who earn $50,000 a year and ones who earn $750,000 a year. They both buy the same loaves of bread. Controlling spending is important, but your earnings become super linear. Number 5, your friends and family will have lots of tips once you begin your financial journey. Listen politely, then stick to the program. I would say just don't tell people. Don't tell people when you're doing something big, dramatic. Don't talk about it, because then you don't have to listen to their unsolicited feedback. Number 6, build a collection of spending frameworks to use when deciding on buying something. This one is really good. He says most people default to restrictive rules. I need to cut back on eating out, for instance. But you can flip it and decide what you'll always spend on, like my book buying rule. If you're thinking about buying a book, just buy it. Don't waste even 5 seconds debating it, because applying even one new idea from a book is worth it, like this one. And as a person who reads a lot of books, I do use the library, but I do embrace this. I feel like I don't always have these grand takeaways from every book that I read, but more often than not, every single book that I read, I walk away with some new piece of information. Example, there was a fiction young adult book that I read that I didn't think was particularly interesting. But it gave me a lot of insight about the mannerisms of people on the spectrum, because the main character was a teenage girl who had autism. And so the one thing that I took away from that book, outside of like the storyline or the character development or the plot, was some of the things that go through the mind of an adult or like a teenager that is on the spectrum, and somebody who masked it very well. So that was really interesting for me. Number 7, beware of the endless search for advanced tips. So many people seek out high-level answers to avoid the real hard work of improving step by step. It's easier to dream about winning the Boston Marathon than to go for a 10-minute jog every morning. Sometimes the most advanced thing you can do is the basics consistently. So instead of being like, oh, I wish I had the money to get all these stocks and to do this, I wish I had the money to buy my first investment property, he's like, stop dreaming about these extremes and just do what you can. Instead of saying, I wish I had the money to go do an XYZ, if you got $10, take $10 and figure out what you can do with that $10. Act your wage and do the things that you can do right now, and do them consistently, so that you're not fantasizing about, I wish I could, I wish I could, I wish I could, because then you'll just never do it. So 8 is, you're in control. This isn't a Disney movie and nobody's coming to rescue you. Fortunately, you can take control of your finances and build your rich life. Number 9, part of creating your rich life is the willingness to be unapologetically different. Once money isn't a primary constraint, you'll have the freedom to design your own rich life, which will almost certainly be different from the average person's. Embrace it. This is the fun part. Number 10, live your life outside the spreadsheet. Once you automate your money using the system in this book, you'll see that the most important part of a rich life is outside of the spreadsheet. It involves relationships, new experiences, and giving back. You earned it. Now, what I do want to add that I like about this book, and I know some people are going to hear this and they're still going to it's going to go over their head, but he does not police your spending. He does not try to tell you what to buy and what not to buy. He leaves that completely up to you. So if you have a thing that you like to do, if you like he said, if you like buying your lattes, go buy your lattes. He's not going to tell you, stop going to the coffee shop and do this and do that. And I told y'all, even in that type of spending, when I stopped going to the coffee shop, I wasn't saving that money. I was just taking that money and using it for something else. So the money was still being spent. It was just, to me, being spent more diligently on something, or more purposely on something that I actually wanted. Because I can make the lattes at home, and half the time the barista don't even do it right? But anyway, he's not telling you, he's not policing your spending. He's not at all trying to make you feel bad about what you're doing. He gives you a practical guide. It's a 6-week plan, and starting with the first week, he tells you exactly what to do. And the thing is, you take his exactly what to do and you scale it up or scale it down based on what your circumstances are. So if he tells you to put X amount of dollars away for something, you still put it away for the thing that he told you to put it away from. But if you don't have 1,000, you do 20. If you have more than 1,000, you do 10, whatever you have. And that's why he said he has people that read his book and they make $50,000 a year, and there's people that make $750,000 a year. It doesn't matter. The system that he's explaining will work for anybody. You just have to scale it to your needs. And like I said, read the whole book first, and then once you finish reading the book, go back through and work through it. I mean, you don't have to. You can do it as you go, but I think you get more insight if you read through the whole book, so you know what to expect, and then just go by week by week. So as I will teach you to be rich, in your library, I know it's on Libby. It's on Libby for sure. It might be backed up right now, but it's on Libby. It's probably on Hoopla, which is the library apps. It is in your local bookstore, and it is on TikTok Shop.